what are you talking about? I'm early. I'm always early.
What are you doing on my Instagram? What are you doing?
Hey.
How you doing, sis?
You know I can't complain. Come on now.
You better not. Because if you start complaining, then we all in trouble.
I know.
It doesn't get much. Look, it doesn't get much better. Because you know what? I honestly believe this. You are one of those people I think people have as a friend in their head, and they think, I wonder if she's nice. Like, I wonder if she's nice. And I want to be honest with you, she's not. She is so mean. Every single time we get together, she gets me in trouble. And see, because everybody knows, they look at Yolanda Adams and they think, oh my God, she's just so nice. And then they see me and they see us over here and they think it's me. And I'm like, are you kidding? This is her. She's the one doing this.
Because they know it's you. They
do not know it's me. They don't. They see what happens. See, but it really is. So thank you so much for joining us. I know that one of the things that's always impressed me about you is how humble you are to your success. Do you feel like you've arrived?
No, I don't think you ever feel like you've arrived. I know you know, okay, I've accomplished that. But there's so many other things on your vision boards, in your diaries, you know, all of that. And, you know, I've been journaling since I was a kid. So there's certain things, there's certain things that I still have in my journals that I want, you know, like being able to have a vacation once a month.
But you could have a vacation once a month, couldn't you? Couldn't you do that? Like, what's standing in the way?
Recording, radio, TV, songwriting, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, the work still goes on. And even when people don't see you, you know, out in the forefront, you know, I'm not on social media every single day. So, you know, sometimes folk are like, oh, where is she? Working.
Which you are. It's not just you. You also working with your beautiful daughter.
Yes.
And who's a talent unto herself.
Oh my God.
She's the real deal.
I am so proud of her graduating in May. And
really
headed to LA. She already has her job. And you know me, mama. I'm like, okay, so you need me to talk to anybody? You need me to say anything? She's like, no, I got this. And she has it.
You raised her right, though. I mean, I've known her since she was normal height.
Yeah.
You wanted to go and make a supermodel, so there you go. And then since she comes from a supermodel, then it only makes sense. I didn't know you used to teach. I didn't know you used to teach.
Who, me? Second and third grades, all subjects.
I did not know that.
Second and third grades, all subjects. Yeah. I think we talked about it the first time we met, which was like 20-something years ago. So yeah, it's been a while. But I think as we grow older, we're teaching even more. We're just teaching from a different platform, like this platform.
Well, that's clearly what you do. That's clearly what you do. You are. I mean, you clearly. One of the things I think that you do is you make God personable for a lot of people.
Yes.
Can you talk about that?
Well, here's the thing. I am so glad that I was raised the way I was, because God was cool on a Sunday as well as a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So cool that he would go to church with us on Sundays, but then go to school with us on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday go to the skate rink with us. So there were no, you know, in my family, there was no separating God from yourself. My mom and my dad, all of my, my grandparents all said the same thing, that God is as accessible to you as your breath. So to me, even as a kid, it just made sense. So God is a part of me. I'm a part of God. I get a chance to, you know, work out whatever I would need to work out in my life, and he's right there. So he never leaves me. So if he never leaves me, I don't want to leave him. And
well, but you do that though. But you find a way to make God accessible without overwhelming people. And you know what I'm talking about. Yes. You know, there's some people you're like, can we eat? Like, I get that we're gonna pray before dinner, but like the food is cold now. The food is actually cold. Like everybody got their plates now. Everybody stand in line, put it back in the microwave. How is it that you're so comfortable with your relationship with God?
Because it's just that. It's a relationship. They're not a whole bunch of rules. And you know, I have always, before it became popular, I always told people, hey, why don't you get your Bible that has Jesus's words in the red? Because if you want to follow him, if you want to be like him, find out what he says, find out his mannerisms, find out his customs, find out that he meditated and prayed early in the morning and then got the rest of his day done. So if Jesus did that, you need to sit somewhere, be quiet, center yourself, and get ready for your day. And the only way you can do that is, you know, let go of the night, because sometimes people have nightmares, and they need to get that spirit out of them as well. And then, you know, those of us with kids, you know, they run in the room. Oh, I need cookies for the bake sale, blah, 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 blah. When is the bake sale? Today. What? So before you get overwhelmed, you know, just calm yourself down and know that you are intended to get through this day, and you will. But you got to do it in joy, and you got to do it in love, and you got to, you know, you got to know that everything is going to be all right. You know, what did Al Green say?
Well, I don't know. How does he say it? How does he say it? How does he sing it?
Everything is going to be all right. But it usually does. And think about it. The things that we are so worried about at a certain point in time have always worked themselves out. Think about it. You know, some of the worst things that we've been through in our lives that we thought we'd never get through, guess what? Duh. It may be 15 years ago. It may be 2 months ago, maybe 2 hours ago, but you made it through. And so I think that's the beauty also of knowing that I'm not in this by myself, that you know, the world's greatest thinker, the world's greatest mind, the world's greatest spirit, the world's greatest love and joy and peace is on the inside of me. So why am I tripping?
Well, you know, it brings up your song, "The Battle Is Not Yours," right?
Yeah.
You constantly exist in a space where you are without announcing. It's one of the many things I respect about you. We've traveled in many of the same circles, and there are folks with a fraction of the, we'll call it, success that you've had, who announce it. I mean, it's like they come. You and I have been at Essence, and we've been at other things, and you know, you see them. I call them the Atlanta famous people, right? These are the people who they're in the VIP with the sunglasses on. You're like, what? It's dark. Take those off. You look weird. Don't do that. They're walking around, and they have this air about them. You're like, see me, see me, see me. Why don't you have that air? Why? I mean, you have every award that one could get. You got. Like, let's just be honest about, like, this is me saying this. I've never heard you say this in the near 20 years that we've known each other. I've never once heard you talk about a Grammy or a Stellar or any something. I mean, it's just like, you just don't do it. It's just not something you do.
No.
What is the reason, or how did you get to a place where you're so comfortable in you?
That has to be nurtured. And again, I have to thank my parents and grandparents and people I surround myself with. You know, first it's your family, because your family is going to always tell you the truth no matter what, and whether you want to hear it or not or whatever. Oh, hey, Miss Kanisha, and hey, Susie Q. Thank y'all so much. But one of the things my father was so prolific in his delivery of wisdom to us, because he was a track coach, history teacher, history buff.
And you ran track, yes?
And he ran track, yes.
Did you?
Yes. No, I played tennis, but I had to run track to play tennis, you know, that whole thing of conditioning and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why I love to run right now. But
yes.
Here's the thing, though. He would tell us things in such a way you didn't even know you were learning. You're learning a lesson and learning a truth. And he would say all the time, if you have to announce yourself, you're smaller than the room that you're going into.
Ooh, I got to make you say that again. You got to go back. You can't just, that one doesn't get to be said once. You got to say that again.
If you have to announce yourself, you're smaller than the room that God has allowed you to get into.
Ooh.
Smaller, not bigger. You're smaller than the room that you're about to go into. And I have never thought that I didn't belong anywhere. And you've heard the story of Tyler Perry saying when we were at the Legends and Youngins Ball, he and I were sitting there together and he's like, what am I doing here? And I looked at him, with all of his success and all of this kind of stuff and him being overwhelmed. I said, brother, you belong here. Wherever God places you, you belong. And that's why preparation, and I love the mantras that you have for your schools. That's why preparation is so important. I never looked first to brands and things like that to make me who I am. I always look past that into the heart, the integrity, those things that I was brought up on, to make sure that when I do get into places that are ordained for me to get into, I know how to act, I know how to represent, and I'm showing God in all of his aspects of love, joy, peace, and all of that great stuff. And so for me, it never was about the announcement, oh, I'm here, I've arrived, oh, look at me. It was all about, if I am going into this, okay, let's just say you and I have been at the White House together. Instead of going into the White House, hey, President Obama, I'm so-and-so. It's like, duh. No. When you're in those rooms, sit down and listen. When you sit down and listen, you will learn something that you didn't know 2 hours ago. And and those things can catapult you into an even greater stratosphere. And so I think one of the, I'm the oldest of 6 kids, so it ain't no.
Yes, I know that.
It ain't no trying to be grand or nothing like that in front of them.
but listen, so that might be true. That might be true because of your particular family. Right. But I know oldest of 6 who are not you. Like, let's just be honest about that, right? And I deeply appreciate your humility because it's real. This is not something that she's doing for y'all, folks. This is no disrespect. She ain't gonna change herself for you. And that's and that for me is one that, how is it that you, a fairly tall woman, a woman, how is it that you develop so comfortably in your skin?
Wow. Definitely a great foundation, like I said, family, my first foundation. And then because I was so tall as a kid, my mom and dad, they poured into me this self-esteem that being tall and thin was not an indictment. And it wasn't something to look down upon. As a matter of fact, my dad said, hey, there will be people for the rest of your life wanting to look just like you. So, we will not bend down. We will not hunch over. We will stand erect and we will, present ourselves in that way. And, then I had a daughter who was relatively tall at, ages. And now she's taller than me. And
is she really?
She looks like a supermodel. Yes, she's.
I knew. Well, she looked like a supermodel from the time she was born. She's a half inch
taller than me, so I think she's going to be like an inch. Don't tell her though, because she don't want to be taller than me. but that's it. But no, go ahead. You think those? Things, no. Those are the things because my dad was my superhero. My mom was my superhero. So when I heard them say that, I knew that it had to click within me for me to believe it and move on from there.
So I work with so many kids, and tall girls catch it. They catch hell.
Oh yeah, we do.
They catch hell.
The names Jolly Green Giant.
Yeah.
Alice the Goon. Well, I'm kind of like
Dating yourself. Yeah. Okay. But that's all right. You don't look it. You don't look it. But you overcame those, and you have some overt blessings.
Yes.
Some people's blessings are a little more subtle. If it's just a polite way to say it. We don't always see them coming in, right?
Yes.
They don't. Yours, you're like, oh wow. I every time I've seen you sing, every time, because I know what you're gonna do, because I've heard it before, and I think, okay, I'm good this time. Then it's like, and then it happens again. It's like, it's the most amazing thing. Why don't you put your light under a bushel? Why don't you make yourself smaller so other people can feel comfortable?
Well, that's not in my DNA. Again, I was taught to respect and love all people.
Yes.
But never to take myself down to make anybody feel better about themselves, but to raise them up to where I am to make them feel better about themselves. And so because of that, everything I've learned in my life from my mom and everybody else, I taught to my daughter. And
so let me go back though, because you said something, another one. So you didn't make yourself smaller to make them feel bigger. You say you pulled them up to make them go there, because that's a whole different perspective.
Oh yeah, but well, here's the thing, and we say it all the time. Words are containers of power. They can build people, they can demolish them. You can have a person who has very little in front of them understand the potential and the gifts on the inside of them, help them pull those things out so that so that they're like, oh, so this has been in me all the time. Yes, Dorothy, you have always been able to go home.
My favorite movie.
So,
no, really, my favorite movie. Because of that.
Do. Yes. That's exactly
because of that.
Right.
Because what you see is what so many people see is what other people have. This thing that we're on right now is this highlight reel of filters and angles that make people think that somebody is something that they're not. There are people who I know who are on Instagram, and I know them. Like, I know what they look like. Like, I've seen them, and I've seen them up here. I'm like, damn, did she really lose that much weight? How do you do that?
Now, let me tell you, I was laughing the other day because my daughter was like, Mom, you need to put a filter on. I'm like, I don't even know how most of the time to go on my own Insta story live. I can go on everybody else's stories live, but I don't know how to go on mine. So filters, child, look. And I gotta confess, my phone is not the newest iPhone. It's a step up above the 10. So
how about that? So mine I think is the same age. And if I'm gonna be honest, yesterday I made my son, made him, Walker, much to his chagrin, I made him do this with me, go on IG Live. And we had like, I have to have a real argument with the dude. I'm like, are you really seriously not gonna show me how to do this? It's easy. How is it though? You? Right. So also this though, you are an authentically positive person.
Yes.
But the world is not.
Right.
And in your industry, there are a lot of people who can sing. Like, yes. I mean,
everybody.
Oh man.
Everybody.
How many times have you been to a church and you thought, record deal maybe? And I mean, just below you to the back of the church.
Exactly.
And as talented as you are, and there is no doubt about it, you are easily the greatest living voice. There's no one who's going to argue. I know, but there's no one who's going to reasonably argue. Well, on Instagram they may, but in reality, it is what it is. You are that. But let's just be honest. There's some hungry folks and there's some hateful folks.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? And I say that before you answer that. You're a Grammy Award winner, all these other accolades. There's that. But there's a sister who is a hairdresser. There's a sister who's an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
There's a sister who's in college.
Mm-hmm.
And she's facing that same Yolanda, like, I'm a positive person, but these people don't want me to be positive. Like, they don't want that.
Yeah.
How do you deal with people who are actually coming for you? Because they do.
Yes. Well, here's the thing. Everything starts with a decision. So you have to make up your mind on whether this decision to engage with them or not will bring something positive into your life, will explain who you are. And usually the people who are hating, they already know that you're a positive person, but they're mad because they realize if they see you living positively, they know that they have the potential to live positively too, but they've lived negatively so long that they're like, yeah, that's fake. No, it's not. It's not. And then the other thing too is, there's just so much negativity I'm gonna tolerate in my space. You know?
Can you stay there? Don't
Yeah.
leave that, because I really want you to stay there, because this is you talking to all of my kids. This is talking to my parents, who so many of them, I call them and I'm saying, sis, why are you doing this? You said there's only so much negativity that I'm gonna
let into my space, period. You know, and there are questions that you have to ask yourself. Taylor and I often have these questions. Well, we have these Q&As, you know.
And Taylor, folks, is Taylor's Yolanda's daughter.
Yeah, most of y'all know. Hey, most of y'all know that Taylor's my baby, and she had some issues with early roommates when she first went to college. And so I asked her. I said, "Okay, so do you see yourself being roommates with them after this semester or after this year?" She's like, "No, because they just yell and fuss." I'm like, "I know, you come from a house of nothing but peace. You know, we don't yell and scream and throw stuff at each other, so that's not our MO." But the one thing you can do is that in these spaces, and I told her this, in this space, you will learn how to socialize with people who act like you, have been raised like you, and then you will also learn how to delicately socialize with people who are not like you, who, you know, may have had a bad day or may have had a bad upbringing, and they don't know that there is another choice. You know, like I said, everything starts with a decision. Right. Whether you were born in a negative environment or not, you can choose to make your environment the most positive environment as well. And that can start as easy. The easiest way to start that is to get a vanilla scented candle.
Okay. Talk us all the way through that though.
And light that vanilla scented candle, because vanilla has these calming properties, you know, without making you sleepy. And, you know, it's like smelling baked goods. You know, when you smell like brownies in the oven or cakes in the oven, you just start feeling really, really good. It starts with something that simple. And then the next thing is, after you have smelled that vanilla candle, the next thing is start talking positively to yourself. Because some people have heard so much negative about themselves that they have now... And we know the whole psychological term of the divine prophecy, the self-fulfilling prophecy, where, you know, you talk to yourself a certain way, blah blah blah. But it really is the truth, because again, words are containers of power. You have the power right now to change everything in your environment, everything in your atmosphere, and you literally can change the way things come at you. Because if somebody is constantly coming at you negatively, and all you're saying is, well, you know what, that's going to work out. Well, you know what, that's going to work out. And after 5 times of you saying that to somebody and they don't believe it, they'll stop asking.
But what I want you to do, because I think you're doing something that could easily be missed. There's a subtlety here. Yes. I don't think you're just talking about somebody coming at you in a directly negative way. What I hear you also saying is something different, which is this: I'm only going to allow so much negativity in my space, which means if you're coming to me gossiping about one of your friends, if you're coming to me talking that badly about your husband, if you're coming to me talking badly about your children, I only have so much room for that, hon. Like, it's just, I just want to be real with you. There's a limit. You only get so much of that.
Yeah.
And my response to you is going to be, that'll work itself out.
Right.
As opposed to, go ahead.
Yeah. Cause see, you will say, hey, I don't have time. I don't have time for that. I got 5 seconds. What you got? You know, I know,
Right.
I know you. And me, I'll be like, oh, so really? So let me know. Let me know what's going on, you know, and that way, that's how you and I
differ.
get in trouble. Look, that's how we get in trouble. But yeah, and you are right, because you can literally, and I know I'm repeating myself, but
it's worth repeating.
But
it's
you can literally change the atmosphere of your life when you start telling folks what you want and what you're allowing them. There's just so much you're gonna allow them to do. You know,
well,
they're bound.
If you think of it just this way, I think what I hear you saying is, if you had something bad happen to you,
right,
and then you go and retell that story,
yes,
beyond the point of healing, now reliving, that's one thing. But if you consistently hear without consequence or correction or support, then you take in all this negativity and you become the place where they drop the negativity, and that hurts. And
a lot of
impact
times, no, a lot of times, you know, and we have friends who do that, and they feel, oh, I feel so much better after I talk to you. It's like, yeah, okay, that's good. But,
because you're making them reset their the way that they're looking at it. You're making them rethink what they're doing.
Because I always, you know, and great educators do this anyway. So how could you do that differently? How could you do that better? What could your response have been if you know, now that you've really thought about it? Okay, so do you think you owe that person an apology, or do you think you're in a mindset where you can go and give that person that apology now? You know, those are the kinds of things, and then make them drop the subject right there so that, you know, they don't hang on to it. Because we all know with this past 2.5, 3 years, we have been devastated by all types of things, you know, the economy, of course, the pandemic, and then folks having to quarantine, and they were already alone, you know, not just lonely, alone. So, so we now know how important socialization is, and how having that tribe, whether it's family or friends or coworkers, whatever it is, whoever your tribe is, make sure you are doing the best and being the best you that you can be for the tribe. Because, you know, sometimes it's going to be your turn to vent. You know, I've called you several times. Hey, what do you think about this? This was with so-and-so and so-and-so, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. And then I hear from your perspective, because you're very logical and matter of fact. And it's like, you know what? He just put me in my place, and he was right. And not put me in my place in a bad way.
No, there's ain't nobody putting baby in a corner.
But you made me rethink the possibilities, because here's the thing. I grew up thinking one way. You grew up thinking another way. As we grew up as adults, we learned how to navigate life. And so my reasoning may not be the same as yours, but we come out with, you know, the same positive outcome. So that's why I just love having these kinds of conversations where people can just peek in and will listen in on what we're saying, because sometimes an answer can come in something as simple as an interview.
Well, I'll say this. One of the things that you're doing for me, and I think many, is reminding us that the more you immerse yourself in negative people and thought, the more time you spend in negative people and thought. And it really is that simple math. If I spend 30 minutes arguing back and forth with somebody who just doesn't want to do right, I can't get those 30 minutes back. They're not coming back. They're gone. And they weren't even a good 30.
And in that argument, both of you may have said something to damage the other person's heart. And that has always been my thing. What is it that I want to bring to the world? How can I help people? Because like you said, there's enough negativity going on everywhere. So
negativity is the cheapest of all things, because it's everywhere.
It doesn't take thinking. You don't have to think to be negative. You know, you can just wake up negative.
Well, literally, like, and we could all get caught up in it. How many times have I been sitting there watching news thinking, man, has she gained weight? What if she has? Like, what if she has? Like, is it gonna rain or not? You know what I mean? What's the weather gonna be? What is it?
That's her job. Let it go.
Right? She don't need that. I mean, she knows how much weight she's gained. She ain't asking me if I gained weight, which I did. She's not. It's so easy, and it requires a level of discipline that you have.
Yes.
And then I've seen it. I've seen this level of discipline where even in some situations where we've been in, where negativity was bubbling up, you remained above the fray and never allowed the conversation to go too far. Where, quite frankly, if someone had said, hey, but Yolanda said, they wouldn't have been like, it wasn't possible, because you didn't say it. You just said, hey, like you said, this thing will work itself out. Yes. That's not the way I understand it, but if that's how you understand it, that's what it is. What is it inside you that keeps you so centered as it is to your compass is due north on positivity? Mm-hmm. What's the goal? Where does that come from?
Oh, wow. The goal, I mean, as you said,
and by the way, I'm just freaking out. Like, like you, Taylor, and you look so much alike. Like it's like I keep. Like, oh my God!
Somebody told me that same thing.
Oh my God! So it's like freaky now at this point. Wow! Just wow. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
So as we said in the beginning, the goal is to show people that a life of, and I know I say these words a lot, but they are so important to me: love, joy, peace, community, unity. Those kinds of things are very important to me. And then, to me, that's how I see God. And so if I am to make God cool, which he is to me, he's way cool, then I have to embody all of those attributes that belong to him. So that's come from a lot of study, and it's not just biblical study. As you can see behind me, I have all kinds of books. I have books on how the earth works, because I wanted to know, if God stooped down and made Adam from the dust of the earth, what does it say about the dust of the earth? So I wanted to know about that. I wanted to know about the stars, because in the word it says, count the stars. That's how many blessings you have, or how many descendants you'll have, or whatever. And so I started looking at how complex and intricate we are really made. And I'm like, whoa, this is so cool. So this whole life of positivity, love, joy, peace, all that great stuff can be a teaching moment in any scenario with any person, believer, non-believer. Because we're all made the same.
You said something that I want to go back to.
Okay.
You said one of the reasons why you remain as positive as you are is because you see yourself, in part, I'm going to put this word in, as an ambassador of God.
Perfect.
And as such, you don't want people to think that his child is a jerk.
Right.
Because you know there are times when you go to church and some of the churchiest people are mean. Like, whoa.
Really.
Whoa.
Really mean.
Like, come on, sis.
My
What
granny
are you going through?
My granny was over the ushers for as long as I've been born. And one of her things was, I don't care what kind of bad Sunday you started off with, when you walk in here and people are looking at you and you're greeting them, if you got to crack your teeth like, I want you to crack your teeth and say good.
She want to see teeth. But that's a responsibility that I've never heard anyone who is, I mean, you are a very visible Christian, very visible Christian. And I remember when first I met Bishop Jakes, I said to him, I would never want to be you, brother. I love you. I respect you. Right. I would never want to be you, because the responsibility that you carry, you can't have a bad anything without somebody questioning what it is, the faith that you have, or the power of your God. And you have internalized that responsibility differently. You're saying, as an usher for my God, I'm supposed to be a representation of him.
Yes.
So as such, I owe it to him to be positive. I've never heard anyone say that.
Yeah.
I've never heard anyone say, where does that come from? That really is a different approach.
That actually comes from the Bible. We are ambassadors of Christ. You know, Paul said it. And I think what tends to happen is people make it harder than it really is, because the Bible never, and I want people to write this down, the Bible never said be perfect. Okay. Stay
there. Yeah, I can't let you leave off of that. I can't let you.
Get to 1,000, 1,000. I'm gonna you see what let him get to their phone. Let him get to their phone. Exactly. The Bible never said be perfect. It never said it. So, you know, and then we have to go back to how the Bible was amassed and all of that kind of stuff. And because, you know, that's what I follow. And I follow a lot of teachings. You know, I follow the teachings of Solomon. I follow the teachings of David, you know, of course. But the life of Jesus really, for me, was the example of how to navigate life with God directing your every move. And but so
yours is a very personal though role. Yours is a very personal role though. Yours is, again, they're the clear platitudes, right? Your voice is resounding. Your theology is compelling, but in your person, I've just seen it. So anybody can say what they want. I've seen it in the simplest of places. I've seen the way you are so committed to being this kind person, to being this positive person. And you say that comes from your faith. That is so powerful.
Definitely.
There's a responsibility.
And there's a responsibility when you know to do better. And our parents told us, when you know better, do better. Yeah. And then when you do better, the world is better. And so I think that with so much craziness going on, and with so much craziness that we've experienced over the last 3 to 6 years, we owe it to not just ourselves and our kids and folks around us who see us, but we owe it to people who probably didn't know us before they saw us, to give that example of, wow, she's cool, because a lot of people are like, I'll give you an example. When we get ready for stuff like Super Bowl, Grammys, all of that, usually it's the same production.
Well, it's not. We don't usually get ready for that. Oh. You do. When we get ready for Super Bowl, we're trying to figure out wings, nachos. When you get ready for the Super Bowl, you think 80 million people ain't no thing. Okay. So I'm sorry. It's a new era. People rewrite pronouns. So on this one, I'm gonna end up. I'm at a friendly amendment. When you get ready for the Super Bowl, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I got that. So the production companies, you know, you have different production companies, and they're like a handful of companies. I'll say like 5 to 10 companies that do a lot of everything, the award shows and all that. One of the most amazing comments that I always get is that I'm always the same. I'm always kind. I'm always hugging folks. I mean, but that's just who I am. I can't help that. People, you know, and my Steve can tell you, it's just me, and I'm always like that. You know, and so the compliment is, it's always so good to see you. I know I'm going to get a smile when I see you.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa. So,
but it's true though.
Nobody else.
But it's true.
That? Right.
But no, they don't. And you're speaking to people. There's a lot of folks in the comments who are just on fire for this right now. But one of the things that someone said is that it's not an accident that they're watching this today. You're speaking to people in a way that makes sense. I said before, you bring God down to a place where it just seems like, okay, that's accessible. Like I can absorb that. That's a God I'm cool with. Versus the other people make you feel like there's something wrong with you because you're not whatever it is that whatever. You make people feel like there's something right with you because you're not there yet. You're still on your journey. And one of the things that I hear you doing is talking about how in your persona, in your actual you, it is your responsibility to live your faith. Yes. Can you, because I never thought we were going to talk about that, but can you just, I don't like talking to people, quite frankly, about their faith because I know it's such a personal thing. It really is a personal thing. And in all the conversations that we have, we actually never have had this conversation because it is something that I respect and is so personal, personal.
Yes.
But to the extent that you feel comfortable talking about how you walk that line of expression of your faith in your persona, I'm really interested in hearing more about that.
Well, the foundation of every religion pretty much is love. And so if I'm walking in love, it doesn't matter if that person is Jewish, Hebrew nationalist, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist. It doesn't matter because I am supposed to show the love of God to every person I meet. The love of God is so entrenched in me that it's as close to me as my breath and as vital to me as my blood. So to try to separate me from my faith is going to be pretty much impossible because I live and breathe it. You know,
it is definitely impossible. And you and I have both seen it. We've both been at places, churches included, mosques included, where because I don't want it to be, this is not a beating on Christian statement, but
not at all.
But let's be clear. There are more than a few Christians who I've encountered who ain't nice. They ain't nice people. Yeah. And what they don't recognize is if you are a Christian under construction, like I am, like I got the plans, you got a foundation. I'm stuck on a post, but I got a plan.
That's the whole point. We all are. We all have not made it to that pinnacle of being, oh, I got it all the way. No, we all are.
But they don't recognize, like you do, that they literally turn people off the church. Like literally.
Oh yeah.
People come in there and they're like, you know what? I don't need this. And I think, tell me what you think about this. Okay. Do you think that the increase, because a lot of churches experience an increase in membership online, was due in part to the fact that they didn't have to deal with some of the people in the church, like the personalities?
I think the number one thing was they didn't have to get out of their pajamas.
That's fair. That's fair. See, look at you being positive.
That's number one.
That would have been me. That would have been why I would have
said. May be the mean people.
That would have been me. Because they end up with really big positions in the church. They're mean and visible.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's strategic as well, because if they get a hold to Deacon so-and-so who was like, blah, 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 they won't bother the pastor or the first lady. That's a whole different thing. But The one thing that I loved about the increase of online church is that it showed that people are watching and people are needing this. You never think about how much you need prayer, how much you need faith, how much you need all of these things that encompass, the big picture of the spirit. You never think about that when you're in a place of, oh, okay, I'm on the beaches of Tahiti, blah, 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 blah. Of course, you can look at the sky and say, oh, God, this is an amazing sky. But it's not until you're questioning what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen today, where's the world going to go, that you really start seeking. And so I love the fact that during the pandemic, the numbers went up. Bible studies were more attended than they were physically. And now that everything is opening up, it's going to be like, are we still going to have this online component? Are we going to, keep doing what we used to do? Because now church has really changed.
Yeah, it has.
It has changed, and those people who were not socially ready, and technologically ready, some of them are kind of, having to refocus their energies and their monies so that they can keep those people engaged, as well as the people who will like to physically come back. But I'm with you. There was definitely a change in the way we saw it. But I mean, after every global disaster, after every national disaster, people have to start thinking now, okay, what do I believe? What would happen if I was on a plane and it hit a building, because people know that we're here for a reason. We're born for a reason. We're here for a reason, and we die for a reason. So
wow. Well, let me say this. First of all, I know Steve is like pulling his hair out right now. I told him
he's good. He's good.
So I'm not gonna hold you for much longer. So let's just go through some fun questions that come up, because I think people always want to know, who are your favorite singers?
Oh gosh, let's do we have an hour? I love Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway, Nancy Wilson, Michael Jackson, her, Mary J. Blige, everybody that sings gospel music, I'm a fan of.
Okay. Pamela Mann to me moves like when she sings, I feel like she's earned every lyric.
Yes.
Like I feel like she's earned it. Like when she sings, I feel like when she says she's tired.
Yes.
She means it. Like
you can't interpret a lyric without a lot of people try it, but it's not persuasive if you have not had that feeling, that emotion that you are about to sing about. So yeah, no, that Tamala, she's, oh my God. I love her.
When I think about her singing, I shudder. She's woo. So go ahead. So what's a song that you didn't write or perform that you wish you had?
Oh. You know what I've been thinking about redoing, especially during this time, kind of changing the lyric, Michael Jackson's You Are Not Alone. Because
that is a really powerful song.
Yes, it is.
It's another one in that same family, Man in the Mirror.
Yeah.
I hear Man in the Mirror as an adult, as a father.
Yes.
And the tough part about the Michael Jackson legacy, with the exception of the obvious, is that I try to explain this to Walker, who loves music. I try to explain this to him, that because they played so much Michael Jackson when I was a teenager and growing up, all the songs they're seared into my brain that if I never hear them again, it might be too soon. Just because they were on all of the time.
Right.
All of the time. But some of the lesser known songs, but still popular, like Man in the Mirror or what was the song you just said?
You Are Not Alone.
You Are Not Alone. Those are songs that evoke something that I think he meant when he did it. It's not his fault that he's really, really talented and it worked really well and everybody bought it.
Right.
But it is a pop song. Who haven't you worked with that you wish you had?
Wow. Now I've worked on stage with Stevie, but I want to work in the studio with Stevie.
That's the news. That's a breaking news right there.
Breaking news. Yeah. And Jimmy and Terry and I are in the studio working on some stuff right now. Yes.
Shut up.
Yeah. Again, yes. It's going to be so good.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That really?
Yes.
So maybe Stevie and Jimmy and Terry could all come together with Yolanda.
Exactly.
Wow. Anybody else? That again, breaking news right there.
Yeah. You know, and I have to say that I want to do a women's empowerment anthem. It's not just for women. The song is not just for women, but I like women who've overcome a lot of stuff. Sure. Like I'd have, of course, all the women in gospel, both of the Tashas, Jacqueline, Lisa Page, Cece, Vicky, all of us.
That would be so amazing.
Pamela.
Kind of like a We Are the World of gospel for women?
But no, it's not. It wouldn't even be a We Are the World. It wouldn't even be a gospel kind of thing because it's more of an inspirational kind of, and I know people don't like this word, but universal, global kind of thing.
I like it.
Yeah, because we are global. We are global people. Right. And so I would have her, Brandy, Monica, Mary.
You are breaking news right now. You are breaking news right now.
No, I'm saying, and that's what we would, and we would just pour our hearts out to people to let them know if we've overcome this, you can do the same thing too. It's not that.
Would it be a song or would it be one song?
It may turn into an album because I see your eyes going like that.
Because first of all, you and Patty singing in the same day is more than enough.
Oh my gosh. We did Happy Feet. She and I and Fantasia. We did I Wish.
People sleep on Fantasia.
Yes.
Let me tell you, one of my favorite songs that Fantasia has is Baby Mama.
First of all, because she can sing anything. She can sing anything.
But one of the reasons why is going back to Tamala.
Yeah.
She earned that song.
Yes, she did.
That's her song.
Yes.
That's her song.
And nobody can take that away from her.
Oh, you go ahead and sing it if you want to. It's not going to sound like it.
That's exactly right.
Why would you do it? Don't do it. Just leave it alone. That's her song.
Yes.
When she sings that song, and when I see you, when she sings that song, it just sounds like she reminds me of all my girl cousins.
Right.
Got a lot of mouth.
Yes.
A lot of mouth.
But
the most loving human people, most loving people
right.
would take a bullet for you, like for real. And so talk about wait, now I'm stuck on this. Talk me through this song or concert that you're talking about of empowerment with these women. Oh my God, this is horrible.
Because think about it. Everybody on earth has gone through something, or they're dealing with something, or they're just getting over something. What people with platforms can do is encourage and let folks know you're on the right track. Keep moving. I always like to make folks, kind of hone in on this thing that God never intended for us to be perfect.
Right.
He never created us to be perfect, but he did create us to be purpose.
Mm.
Not just to have purpose, but to be purpose. You know,
I just spoke today. Before this, I did the keynote at Atlantic City Public Schools. Some of those folks are up here, and I talked to them about standing 10 toes down on purpose. When you stand on purpose, people see what you stand for.
Yes. Yes.
And it's interesting because I'm still stuck on this song / because you got to put faith in there.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, faith, but faith is, everyone has faith. Everyone has faith. Like they had faith to know that Instagram Live would be working today. So they're here with us right now.
Yes, they did.
So
yes, they did.
Everybody has faith. It's just what you do with it. Where are you directing your faith? Are you directing your faith in the worst of what could happen or the best of what can happen? Because like I said, everything starts with a decision, you know? It starts with a decision.
This would be the Essence Festival of all Essence festivals. Yes. To have all of you women together on stage. OMG. Wow. They could be called the OMG. Oh my God.
You are funny.
There you go. You got it. It's the Oh My God tour. Like, because that would be, there would not be a dry eye in the house. Everyone would be moved. And most importantly, universally inspired. Feeling better about themselves. And what could ever go wrong with that? Yeah. Yes, I was talking about Faith Evans as well. She's talking about faith and I'm talking about Faith Evans.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Gotta have faith.
Yes. Well, sis, I'm telling you, oh man, I kept you longer than I was supposed to, but that's not my fault. It's your fault. See, you get me in trouble again. We have to do this again. We have to do this again.
Yes.
Because this was fantastic. I can't wait to see. I really do hope you put this together. I do. I think that, I mean, no disrespect to the other sisters. You and Patty are the anchors. I mean, let's just call it what it is. Right. And I mean, no one with sense would doubt that. No one with sense would doubt that. Here's a question for you. Would Mariah be a part of it?
Yes. Yes. You know, if Whitney was here, she would be a part of it. Because here's the thing about women who have, who've just experienced life, men who've experienced life. I mean, you could do the same thing with, you know, fellas, you know, and do a, you know,
I can't sing
conference.
In my head, I can sing.
I didn't.
God knew what he was doing when he made it so I could sing. Because if I could sing, I would be a mess.
That's why I said,
would not be able to do it.
And do a conference. No.
I can talk, but I can't sing. You're right. Okay, all right. I'll do a conference.
And it's just as powerful. So, because wow, we're see, you made me laugh. I think when folks admire folks' tenacity and their get through, you could tell, you know, you can listen to them all day. And so Mariah has a story. She has, you know, she's been through a lot. Fantasia's been through a lot. Mary J's been through a lot. Monica's been through a lot. You know, so many women. Shirley Caesar's been through a lot.
Shirley.
You know, So there's no one alive who is absent from trouble or, you know, heartbreak or things like that. So I'm the consummate student. We can learn something every single day from someone.
Kelly Price. Somebody just said Kelly Price.
Oh my gosh, you know, y'all know I love Kelly Price. She's on one of my albums, a couple of my albums. So, yeah.
This would be the summer. This would be the summer concert of all summer concerts. This would be. Oh my God, this would be the most powerful. Sis, I love you to pieces. I really do. Thank you so much for taking time out of your very, very busy schedule. We got to do this again real soon.
Yes.
All right. Take care.
All right. Bye. Oh, I enjoyed y'all.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.